Hello Dicers, my dream chasers! Welcome back to Dice Decides and welcome back to another Space Talk. So in this one, we're gonna talk about Venus, the second planet from the Sun. We already did Mercury, so it is time to talk about Venus. Venus is named by the Romans after a goddess of love and beauty. Venus is a very hellish planet, okay? Let's go through all the statistics first. So, the age of Venus is 4.6 billion years, which is about the same as all the other planets in the solar system. They all formed around the same time. So, the distance from Earth is 61 million kilometers on the closest. It gets close to Earth every 584 Earth days, so not that often, but it is the closest planet to Earth whenever it is at its closest. It is the planet that gets closest to Earth. So Venus is our close buddy. So for the size of Venus, we got 928 billion cubic kilometers, which is about 87% of Earth. So it's a little smaller, but it's very similar to Earth size-wise. And temperature-wise, not so much. So when we talk about surface temperatures, it gets to 460 Celsius at the hottest. And it does get cold in some places, but overall it's very hot even in the parts where it's nighttime. Yeah, the temperature gets very Earth-like at 60 kilometers above surface level. So if we create like space stations or something 60 kilometers from the surface of Venus, it could be livable, but the atmosphere is hellish anyway. Yeah, the composition of Venus is 96% carbon dioxide, which is CO2, and 3.5% molecular nitrogen. And there's a lot of other things as well, but yeah, it's mostly CO2, so it's not oxygen, but there's oxygen in that. I mean, CO2 does have O2 in it. It's just bound to the carbon. So I feel like we could create oxygen out of CO2. I guess plants do that. So yeah, like we could terraform it, but it's too hot. Characteristics are, the main thing is that the atmosphere is very dense. The pressures are 90 times that of Earth's. 90 times. Yeah, that's why it gets really hot. It's a greenhouse effect. But it does have a surface, you know, like it might look like a gas giant, and it kind of is mostly a gas giant, but I mean, it has a surface. An old Soviet probe has taken pictures. See this picture? This is from 1975. So that actually amazed me. I never thought about that. Venus does have a surface. It's really cool. So yeah, a radar has observed volcanic plains and mountains and valleys. So it's very Earth-like. It just doesn't have water, so no life basically. Another thing is that it spins very slowly, and it's the wrong way. I think it's like tilted the opposite way, so it spins the other way. But it's very slow, and yeah, it takes 117 Earth days for a full day to pass on Venus. 117 Earth days. So very slow spin. And 225 Earth days to orbit the Sun. Yeah, its year is faster than here, but very slow days. And yeah, we have found some kind of cold layer, which gets to minus 175 Celsius. And that layer is 125 kilometers up in the atmosphere with much hotter layers above and below it. It's like some kind of layer in between hotter layers where there might be snow made out of CO2. So that's kind of interesting. I never thought snow could be made out of CO2, but that's a prediction scientists make. Yeah, it also has a magnetic field, but it's very weak. It's a weak magnetic field because we think it's because of the slow spin. But the sun does create an induced magnetic field. I think it's called, like something happens with the solar wind hitting the atmosphere, some weird stuff happens. So it has some kind of induced magnetic field. Earth also does that. Yeah, it's way weaker than the magnetic field Earth has, which is kind of unexpected considering it has such a crazy atmosphere. But yeah, speaking of crazy atmosphere, it has lightning, like on Earth, but way more, I think. Here's an artistic interpretation of how Venus would look like. It's like lightning, and it's a pretty hellish place, I can imagine. Very hot, lightning, volcanoes. Yeah, you don't want to go there. Definitely not. And for the wind speeds, it's 300 kilometers per hour. Actually, it's even more, I think. It's a bit weird. Like, we have noticed a steady increase of wind speeds over the years. How does that make sense? I'm a bit confused by that. Like, how does wind speeds increase gradually? It's weird. I don't understand that, but that is the case. Strange. 400 kilometers per, I think it's like, according to the graph, it would be like 500 or 600 now. I don't know. It's weird. How can it increase like, anyway. So Venus has some records in our solar system. So one record is it has the slowest spin, which takes 243 Earth days to complete a full spin. But it has shorter days because days are determined also by the orbit. Another record is it is the hottest planet in our solar system. So yeah, if you need help imagining what hell is like, just go to Venus. It's a very hellish place. Okay, well, final thoughts. It's interesting. I mean, throughout history, Venus was considered a very bright star because it does get close sometimes and then it appears very bright in the sky. So, but yeah, it's not a star, it's a planet, guys, it's a planet. But yeah, I think Venus is cool. It's our neighboring planet, you know, Venus and Mars. So it's fun to learn more about Venus. That's all I gotta say, really. I didn't even know it had a surface. I never thought about this. It's really cool. So yeah, that's it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Space Talk. Remember to leave a like, it helps the algorithm, and leave a comment. Let me know what you thought of Venus. Did you learn anything new? And yeah, that's about it. So remember, to gently tap on that like button, ring that bell so you don't miss an upload, and thanks for watching, Dicers. Hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will see you next time.